Hi, my name is Ken Lewis. I am the author of the latest zombie apocalypse novel on Amazon called Year Zero. Now, because my book is mostly about the rebuilding process after the zombies take over, in this video I'm going to be showing how the different areas will fare not only with the initial outbreak, but how they will do with the rebuilding process afterwards. Now, it is the expressed opinion amongst disaster experts that in the event of a global catastrophe, any real-world or, theoretical global catastrophe, the first step is going to be denial. Because why wouldn't it be? There's no way that the mass populace is going to assume the world's coming to an end what's actually happening. Now, because of this first step, the zombie virus has the ability to become unmanageable.
Say that the world starts off with just one zombie. Now that zombie manages to bite and infect 5 people before someone manages to put it down. That group manages to infect an average of 5 living people before they are destroyed. Suddenly we're up to 25. If the math remains consistent, the undead would be able to convert the equivalent of the entire human race in less than 12 steps, leaving only a lucky few humans left on Earth. It's called exponential growth, and it's the same principles that drive an atomic bomb. Soon after the epidemic becomes unmanageable, people begin to panic. Let's say somewhere between steps 5 and 6, which leads to the primary problem of the zombie virus, or any pandemic for that matter. It is that world travel is so extensive that in the modern world, when we consider major airlines and just major airports, and who knows if that person is infected with a zombie germ, could get from anywhere in the world to anywhere else in the world in less than 36 hours. Now, in my book, the infection starts in these 3 countries, and if you are wondering why, I am not going to tell you, because it would totally ruin the book and it would be a total buzzkill on my part. This is where I leave hard science and delve into theory. If I am right and the infection does start here, then based on all the information that I have outlined, I believe that the zombie pandemic will have replaced living humans as the dominant species within 3 to 5 days of the initial exposure.
So here we are, in the midst of the zombie apocalypse. Only a few people left on the face of the earth. But as the saying goes, a cornel rattlesnake is the most dangerous rattlesnake. And humans, at our most primitive and primal, we are survivors. In many ways, people will revert to what's called caveman-like instincts. Not in every way, but in some ways. Such as, we'll start traveling in groups. Safety in numbers. Now you get enough people in a group, societies begin to form. Those societies find a safe haven. Those societies can find a place to grow and mature. But where those societies will grow and why is the point of this video. The factor we have to take into consideration is weather. It is my opinion that the first and only predator the zombie horde is going to have is the extreme cold of winter. The brain freezes, cells begin to crystallize, the zombie dies. Now this temperature, or death temperature, for a human is about 85 degrees. Your core temperature drops below 85 degrees, you're pretty much done. Zombies, however, do not produce body heat. So their death temperature is going to be between 25 and 33 degrees Fahrenheit. At that point, body parts freeze and can actually break off.
Highlighted in blue show areas that do freeze, but only in winter. The areas in white show the land masses that are so cold year-round that would keep the zombies away for good. The only downside to these areas is they are in fact so cold it would be difficult for us to survive too. The areas that are not highlighted are warm enough to sustain undead activity year-round and should be avoided, at least for the first few parts of the rebuilding process, and at least until full-scale extermination can be reasonably attempted. Next, I look at the landmass of North America, which is where most of the story takes place. The population is not fantastically dense. The terrain varies, but the roads are abundant and easily passable on. Plus, they have an abundance of farmland that can be revamped when Europe also has those attributes. So as far as survivability and recovery, I give them around the same chances of success. I don't give them great odds, but I do give them good odds. The Middle East and Africa are both a bit of a wild card. The landscape is very rocky and very treacherous. The zombies aren't going to be able to move around very well. So people's ability to stay in those areas in mass numbers is not likely. But if they can overcome certain differences and unite, their odds could be better than North America. Small populations, the best bet is going to be among the hundreds of small islands that are off the coast of major continents. And yes, I do count Australia in this group. Yes, they do have a large landmass, but they also have a very low population, less than 20 million people. The best in this category would be New Zealand. Fairly large, people are able to sustain themselves, and it is very hard to get to. Even by plane, it is a long journey. And finally, we get to Southeast Asia. In the event of a zombie outbreak, these countries are what I like to call totally screwed. We are talking over a third of the world's population in an area that does not have a good history handling mass outbreaks, even among real-world diseases. So, for those of us who foresee the coming zombie outbreak, avoid Asia. They are doomed.
Thank you for listening to the theories of how the zombie horde will consume our planet. All this is depicted in the Amazon book, Year Zero.